Henri, will we be in line much longer?
Thankfully, I speak a bit of English. The man in front of me only speak gibberish. But the fourth one, he's from England. He told me that the agents were out to dinner, but they should be back soon.
You mean no one speaks French here in Moose Jaw?
I'm sure that some do. I guess they're not in line waiting with us.
Henri, I insist that we go somewhere where there are French Canadians. I don't want our children growing up where there is no French, as was the case in Chicopee Falls, Massachusetts.
Yes, dear.
Did I hear French in this line?
Oui.
Welcome to Moose Jaw. I'm Père Gravel, missionary colonizer for this district.
Father, I'm so glad to hear someone talking French. I'm Mariette Lambert, and this is my husband, Henri.
A pleasure to meet you, Father. Mariette and I were just discussing the best place to settle in this new land.
Gravelbourg.
Gravelbourg? Is it your town?
I helped start the community with my brothers. It's going to be a very important hub for French Canadian settlement, surrounded by communities like Masnod, La Flèche, and Méron.
How far north is it from Moose Jaw?
North? Why would you want to go north?
Because of what we saw on the train coming west. No trees anywhere, and someone on the train told Henri that it was the case throughout southern Saskatchewan. That man also told Henri that if we wanted trees, we had to go further north.
Trees? Why would you want trees? You would only be forced to cut them down.
Père Gravel, I don't want my neighbor living 3 miles down the road to be able to see in my bedroom at night because there are no trees to hide our house.
Monsieur Lambert, if you want trees, you shouldn't be in line in front of this Dominion Land Office. You should be on a train to Prince Albert.
Prince Albert?
Bien sûr. Lots of trees around Prince Albert. Of course, you'd be dealing with Father Bérubé.
He speaks French?
Ah oui, but a very unpleasant man. He recently led a group of settlers northwest of Prince Albert towards Shell River. I hear they revolted against him, and he left them stranded in the woods. But if you insist on having trees...
So, if we went north, we'd had to deal with this Father Bérubé.
Well, I suppose you could go to the northwest, to the Battleford area.
There are trees there?
Lots of trees.
And French Canadians?
Ah oui, but there...
Oui.
Well, there you'd be dealing with a Frenchman, Father Julien. He's been bringing in a lot of French people to settle places like Dalmas, Vaughan, Edam, and Cochin. But...
Oui.
Well, Father Julien can be just as unpleasant a man to deal with as Father Bérubé. And also, the land agent in Battleford is as staunch an Orangeman as I've ever seen. He tends to send in a lot of foreigners when he sees that too many French Canadians are settling in an area in his district. How would you like to be fighting Russians and Galicians for the language of instruction in your school?
So you're telling us that we can only settle in an area where there is no trees.
Well, I suppose you could go check the southeastern part of the province. Father Guerre has done an excellent job of enticing French and Belgian settlers to the area around Watchop and Bellegarde.
There are trees there?
Some, although a lot of the early settlers from that area are now moving into the Gravelbourg area.
Why?
No more land to be had. And I hear that Father Guerre didn't do a very good job of keeping the English out. Population is now about 50-50. Now Gravelbourg.
But there are no trees.
But trees can be planted, and I'm sure they'll grow in the soil around Gravelbourg.
But it would take years, and in the meantime, people could peek into our house.
Curtains, Madame Lambert, curtains. That's the first thing my sister Lauriane did when she came to live with my brothers in Gravelbourg.
Wouldn't the area also be overrun by foreigners? If the land agents decide that there were too many French Canadians.
My dear Monsieur Lambert, I was appointed to the position of missionary colonizer for this area by the Prime Minister himself, Wilfrid Laurier. Furthermore, I received a guarantee that French would have first right of refusal on 4 townships in the area around Gravelbourg.
And there is still homestead to be had?
Bien sûr.
And our children could be educated in French?
My dear Madame Lambert, It is my dream to make Gravelbourg the French center in all of Saskatchewan, just like Saint Boniface in Manitoba. My brothers and I are already looking at the possibility of bringing a religious organization to our little town to teach in the public school.
Nuns and a convent?
And soon, we'll have to talk about a collège for the education of our young men.
Henri, if Père Gravel is right, Gravelbourg could be our new home.
What about the absence of trees?
Who knows what we might see in our neighbor's house at night?
Mariette!
I see we're at the front of the line. After you, Madame Lambert.
Merci, Père Gravel.